know, everybody can read each other's accolades. We wouldn't be here if we didn't have initials behind our names and all the things that we've done that we define success, right? But in the long run, we're just here just trying to make it and making it work, right? Trying to be our best selves. So I'm going to start with you guys. I put note cards in the middle of everybody's table. Everybody grab 2. And make sure you have something to write with. This is my security blanket because it's been such a long day. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is tiring. All right, everybody has 2 note cards. You're going to use both of them. So I'm going to say a word. And when I say a word, I want you to sit back, take a breath, and I want you to write whatever you feel, whether it's in your body, whether it's in your thoughts, whether it's whatever, a story, a memory, and I want you to write it down. Don't worry about spelling. Don't worry about what it looks like. You're not going to compare it to your neighbor. It's just really all about you. And if I can have the little clicker up here. Okay. Everybody has their note card, and great. Okay, 1 word. Survival. 30 seconds. Time. Okay, flip that card over. Grab your other note card. Same rules. 30 seconds, 1 word. Thriving.
Thriving?
Thriving.
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 Right? T-H-R.
Yep. Thriving. Okay, time. Surviving. Who wants to share? Raise a hand, just go ahead and yell it out. Go ahead.
Live. Live.
Surviving.
Surrender?
Buns.
Surviving.
Breathless. Strength. Daily. Daily.
Daily.
Resilient.
Resilient for surviving.
Lizard brain.
Yes.
Ah,
Or just like
it's all one word.
the fight,
Yeah.
flight, freeze response.
Yes.
Yep.
Safety.
Safety.
Of the fittest.
Of the fittest.
Exhaustion.
Exhaustion. Does anybody have sad? Sad, lost, unknown, anxiety. Okay. Thriving.
Grow.
Me now.
Wellness.
Wellness?
Wellness.
Yes.
Excited.
Wellness, excited.
Exceeding expectations.
Exceeding expectation.
Growth.
Growth.
I didn't have one word. I had purpose, passion, and flow.
Purpose. Purpose.
Positive attitude.
Yes. Positive attitude. Aspiration. Hold both cards in your hand. Go ahead, I want to hear you.
I said wholeness.
Fullness.
Abundance.
Abundance. Empowered.
Endurance.
Endurance. I'm feeling so good about this word right now.
I said living.
Living.
Create.
Creating.
Peace.
Peace. Okay, hold both cards in your hand. When you look at both cards, did you feel the difference? Do you feel the difference between the power of a word? The power of a word. Surviving and thriving. a label under those words. A label that we carry when we're surviving, we're sad, we're exhausted, overwhelmed. So when someone says to you, so how's it going? I'm surviving. Oh my gosh, you've just labeled yourself 10 different little things right underneath that word. And guess what that does? It activates our nervous system. And what do we feel with that nervous system? Racing heart, kind of like anxiousness, maybe even some labored breathing, and just doubt of maybe not even knowing what you're doing. But when you have the word, in your other hand, thriving, it feels that racing heart again, and it feels maybe a little breathless a little bit, but guess what? That space in your heart is bigger. It feels energetic, it feels happy, it feels joy. It feels everything that we talked about when we grow, and we grow in what we do. So the power of a word is a label. And we carry labels with us like heavy luggage on our backs, right? I think Heather showed us a picture of that. That's stuck in my mind. A label. We've all been given a label, whether we were given a label from a relationship, from an employer that you didn't work hard enough, from a spouse that said you didn't do this, from a child that you didn't pick me up, from a doctor that you have cancer. I was labeled when I was 26 years old. And I didn't realize it until I was living it, the power of a word. So when I was 26 years old, I had an accident and it crushed the nerve in my right leg. And so at 26, it's like, okay, I hurt myself, let's keep going. I had lots of things to do in my life to accomplish. So I got treatment for it. I wasn't able to walk, so I got around in a wheelchair. So I went to the physical therapy. I did what I was supposed to do, and the leg got worse. It got so bad, they needed to do emergency surgery, thinking I was going to lose my leg. So at the same time this is all going on, a couple months into this accident, I wasn't thinking this was going to last forever. So I go back to the doctor, like I always did, 3 times a week. And one of my last visits with this doctor, like, okay, I've had all these surgeries. When am I going to walk again? And at that moment, he gave me a label of being disabled. He gave me a label because he said to me, I don't know if you're ever going to walk again. 8 words. I never felt a feeling of falling into a deep, deep, dark tunnel where you could just hear how loud the silence is. I remember hearing the wheels of his stool, and then he left. All I can hear at that time was the white crinkling paper, thinking, what's going on? I wept, I picked up my crutches, and I walked out. I walked out to the hall where the nurses were talking, people were laughing, patients were in and out. Life was going on. And I was like, I felt like I was like, wait a minute, does anybody care? Does anybody know the trajectory of my life just changed? Does it matter to anybody? And I thought, I'm all alone in this. No one is here. Where is everybody? Does anybody care? That's the problem with healthcare. Great doctors, great nurses, great support staff, but does anybody care? And this is why I have thrived in my career the last 30 plus years in women's healthcare, because women are always left alone, sitting on that table with no one to lean into or to lean on, because we're labeled. And I think a label is just really important because it does change how we view ourselves and how we move forward in life. And we heard this all throughout our day today. So my now husband said to me, the day that he wheeled me home in my wheelchair and said, so, do you want to walk again? Or are you going to live in the uncertainty of you may not? And it wasn't pressure. It was actually clarity. It's like, wow, I get to make a decision that at 26, I can't believe I was able to look at it that way. So I'm so glad I did. I said, I do want to walk again. I made a decision. And it's a decision that I have stuck to this day. I wanted to walk again. Was it easy? No. Are there hurdles? Are there obstacles? Does life suck? Does all that? Of course. But when you can have a clear vision of where you want to go, you don't always have to know how you're going to get there, or even if you're going to get there. If you could just see that clear vision and thrive instead of survive in a diagnosis. You're not your diagnosis. Where's Dr. Connie at? Yeah. You know, and I lived that my whole life too. And I teach women that because I am reproductive and fertility nurse, coach, and I help women understand that your overall well-being really starts with us. You don't walk around with infertility, I can't get pregnant. You walk around saying, I'm preparing for pregnancy. You know, so there's a big difference of infertility and fertility, a big difference between surviving and thriving. And it's shifting the mindset. And I had developed proprietary methodology called the 5 points of well-being. And one of the points is mindset. And mindset is that clarity of your thought. Your thought, it's been researched, creates emotion. All right? It doesn't mean to be positive. How can you tell someone who's in a wheelchair, be positive and you'll walk again? Really? Seriously, it doesn't work that way. Right? And so, so the mindset, the shift of that is really all about really seeing and doing the work that it takes to move forward. And when you shift and you say, I am preparing for a surgery, I am preparing for this is what I see, not this is the high hill I have to climb, or this is what I have to do. It really changes how you come out on it. And it does get really dry up here, doesn't it, when you're talking? Holy smokes, man, I feel like, wow, did someone give me like an antihistamine or something? So anyway, I just think at this point, when we think about what we say to ourselves, oh my gosh, I'm so stupid. Oh my God, I'm not good enough. Oh my gosh, I can't get up there and talk at almost 5 o'clock and give a presentation. You won't be able to. But if you say, you know what, I'm ready to do this, I am prepared. Yes, I am nervous, but you could tell your nervous system, I'm nervous excited, not nervous scared, not fearful, not feeling the fear of failing. It is just how you're going to look at it. And it's hard to make that switch because it's a lot of work. And it's much easier to say, for the women I take care of, it's much easier to say infertility than living in fertility because it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work to thrive. And sometimes it's just real comfortable just staying surviving because it's a lot of work. And there are days you just don't want to do a lot of work. But guess what? When you say that, that's the work because you're aware. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. That's amazing. You're probably like hearing the dryness. It's crazy. Oh my gosh, it tastes so good too. There's no vodka in there either. So it's just an interesting way of when you look at circumstances don't change. Like your 2 words that you wrote, and then you put the definitions of that word, your life didn't change. You're sitting here, you're the same person. You're the same mom, daughter, employee, entrepreneur. Nothing changed. But guess what? You saw things differently. You shifted. takes a mindset shift, and we could do that every day. It takes a lot of work, but it's worth it because I can still run a 5K. Where's my friend who ran a 5K? Is she here today? She left? Okay. So yes, I've ran 5Ks, I've skydived, I've bungee jumped off of a 550-foot bridge, and I'm doing everything I want to do because I can. Because I can. Is it easy? Nope. Do I have chronic pain? Yep. Do I hate the swelling in my leg? Yep. I hate it all. But I don't wake up hating it, and I don't go to bed hating it, because my struggles actually became my gift, because I've made a whole career helping people not live that label, living beyond the diagnosis, because we are not that. We are a lot more than that. And that's what I got. Thank you. I also want to say, I don't know, I feel like every bit of you that spoke today, all in my head, I was like, oh my gosh, that's what I'm saying. Oh my gosh, that's what I'm saying. Oh my God. I felt like I was like, all this little neurosis of mind games going on. So congratulations to all of you. You all make a difference.